So this week's recipe is chicken tikka masala. It is a delicious tomato-based Indian dish. It's traditionally served with basmati rice and naan bread. I have to say that a lot of people may be turned off and say, I don't want Indian food. Try this first. I promise you, it's not the curry that you're used to tasting or perhaps hearing about. This has no curry in the recipe. It is delicious tomato-based with cream and chicken, and you take the naan bread, you put it in the sauce, you eat it with a piece of chicken. I'm telling you, it's delicious. If you've never tried Indian food before, start here first. You can make it from mild all the way up to spicy till your head can explode. Today, I'm not going to put jalapeno in here because my daughter's going to eat it and I don't want to make it spicy. Although in the marinade, I do use spice. It's just not enough for it to be at the danger level for a toddler. Unfortunately, I decided that I was going to make this without having some of the things I needed. I do this all the time. So I've done it this way before. In the ingredient list below, you're going to get the actual way that I would normally do it without having substitutions. So I normally use fresh ginger, don't have any here today. I normally use heavy cream, don't have any today. And I don't want to run out to the store just to get those two things when I've had it this way before. So obviously, if you've never made Indian food before, there are some things that you generally may not have in your home, and that's garam masala, and it's absolutely necessary. There's really no way to substitute this. Your supermarket should carry this, and if it doesn't, you just find an Indian store or an international store and you'll be able to find it. But they should be carrying this by now. You're also going to need some ground cumin, and a lot of people may not have that because they just don't cook with it. And cayenne pepper, some people have, some people don't. But those are some of the things that you're going to need that you may not have in your fridge. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's marinated in yogurt. And traditionally, Indian dishes are marinated in yogurt. So if you don't have that, it's plain yogurt. If you don't have that, and again, I've made this mistake, I've done it in sour cream. Same thing. Didn't really notice the difference, to be honest. So if you don't want to spend money on yogurt because you know you're not going to eat the rest of the container, then just buy sour cream. If you don't usually buy either, then too bad. You have to buy one because this is how the chicken's marinated. It's not going to be the same without having this marination. Oh, and lemon juice. I don't know. A lot of people may not have lemon juice. So you can have it in this tiny little bottle, a big bottle, or a fresh lemon. Either way, it doesn't matter. So let's get started on this recipe. I'm happy I've decided to make it this week because this actually was, I believe, the second highest choice when I made a poll on what people wanted me to cook. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom up in here so you can see what I'm doing. I've already began cubing the chicken. That's already done. So now is on to the marination part. Here's the chicken and what it looks like. You don't want to make the chicken pieces so big that you really have to take 2 bites out of it to enjoy it. You want it bite-sized, okay? No smaller than that, obviously. You're not giving chicken tikka masala to a little squirrel. It's a human being, so you don't want them any smaller than bite-sized. And let's get started on including our ingredients. So we're going to include here a cup of yogurt. And this is, you're basically going to, most of this yogurt's going to be marinated into the chicken. And then when you take the chicken pieces out, you're going to discard the leftover yogurt. You don't want to keep that, obviously. So we have a cup of yogurt, and again, you can also use sour cream if needed. So you're going to use a tablespoon of the garam masala. That's what I generally use. Let's get it. This I measure. Oops. I know I'm one that doesn't measure much, but this I kind of do because I really don't want to overpower it in any way. So again, just, you know, depending upon how spicy you want it, you would change it to your taste. So I'm including just 1 teaspoon of the cayenne pepper. Just 1. I don't want to go spicier than that because my daughter's eating this dish. And then here is the part that most people are confused by. We're adding in cinnamon. Yes, I know, sounds odd, but you need it and it makes it taste delicious. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. So cinnamon it goes inside the marinade. Now we have the cumin, okay, and I put 2 teaspoons of that in there. So again, all the measurements will be on the bottom, and you won't have to worry about that. Oops, I dropped something. Okay, so generally you can put in 2 teaspoons of pepper if you want, because again, my daughter's eating it. I'm only going to put in 1. Then you want to put in a teaspoon of salt. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's just for the marinade, and I know people who actually use more salt than that. I don't. It seems scary to me to add in 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt, so I just add in 1. So I go in here with a teaspoon of the ground ginger. Now, if I'm using fresh ginger, I use a tablespoon of fresh, just a teaspoon of not fresh, ground. And then we're going to go in with a tablespoon of lemon juice. So you see how quick this is to put together? It's really not difficult to make. There we go. So what we're doing is we're just folding the chicken over and making sure that every piece is marinated. And bam, that's it. It's this easy. Okay, so I have started to saute the chicken in a pan with some oil, just a little bit, maybe 2 tablespoons. And now what we're going to do is we're getting started on the sauce part of the recipe. I put in 1 tablespoon of oil, vegetable oil, and about, I would say, 2 tablespoons of butter, salted butter. So I'm going to go in there and saute some garlic quickly, and then we'll let that cook up for a couple of minutes. So as you can see, the garlic's just cooking up, and we're going to add in the seasoning now, and that is, again, the garam masala. I'm doing it by eye, I know, not a good thing, but I'll give you the correct measurements, of course. And then I'm actually going to grab the measuring spoons for the paprika. I'm putting in 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, 1.5 teaspoons, and then I'm going to put in 1.5 teaspoons of the cumin again. So here's 1.5 teaspoons. Then we're just going to mix it around and let it cook in the butter a little. At this point, I'm putting in 2 cups of tomato sauce, plain tomato sauce. Very important that you're using plain tomato sauce and nothing else. And that's because you don't want any added flavors into your sauce. And then I'm going to let that cook for a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, in with the spices. You want to get to the bottom of the pan and make sure none of your garlic is sticking, or the seasoning as well. Mix it in with the sauce really well. Okay, and at this point you're going to add in the heavy cream. My husband actually saved the day and brought some heavy cream home, so I don't have to use my half and half that I was going to use before. So here is the cup of heavy cream, and that goes into the sauce. Alright, and you'll start to see it look really creamy, obviously. So we're going to mix it around just to get it all incorporated, and then you're going to bring it up to a really quick boil, and you're not going to let it boil for long. Once it starts boiling, you're going to cut the heat to low, and you're going to let it simmer on your pot uncovered for about 20 minutes. So about halfway through cooking the chicken, you're going to notice that it gets very liquidy and it has all this extra liquid. When you're about halfway through cooking it, you're going to want to strain this out and then put the chicken back in with maybe another tablespoon of butter or oil, your choice. The chicken now is fully cooked, and you're just going to heat it up in the sauce for about a good 10 minutes. And then after that, you're just going to chop up, I would say, maybe 3 tablespoons of cilantro. If you like cilantro, you don't have to add it in. And just put it right there up on the top. So it's just going to cook this way for about 10 minutes, just to get the chicken nice inside of the sauce. You're going to leave it uncovered too, and you want to make sure that you're not at a boiling point either. It's at a simmer right now because you don't want the sauce to start to evaporate. So here we go. That's what it looks like when it's in the pan. So this is the finished product. You would serve it, like I said, with some basmati rice and naan bread, and this is what it looks like. Delicious. I'm telling you, it's really good. Don't be turned off by Indian food. If you're gonna start trying to taste different flavors, I would start right here. Alright, well, thank you for watching. As always, if you like the recipe and you try it, take some pictures, show me, like, subscribe, and share the video. Thanks. Bye, guys.